Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here with Greg Shannon. Thanks for joining us, Greg.
My pleasure.
Greg's going to help us, improve your games with our new off-season training. And Greg's been with us for a while now, and what's really cool is that, he had a really good season, and he's now at the stage where he's no longer, diving into the technicalities and the positional stuff and thinking about that stuff. You're really diving into, hey, my anchor is my target, that's where I'm going, and then we're going to refine it from there, which is right up our alley here, right? In premium, that's you guys, that's where you've been. Now, you do notice, I'm sure, in the background here, I just had my fitting on Monday, and I wanted all of you to know first, yes, I'm now a ping man, and we just had an absolutely fabulous fitting from beginning to end, and I'm going to show you. They have a great fitting center here in Toronto, and we've been talking about bringing the cameras over there and doing recreating that fitting for you guys. And I know Donna's going to want to get fit for that as well. And many questions also. We'll have a little discussion, Greg and I. Greg is now working with some single length irons.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's a gentleman here in Toronto that's been touted as a pretty decent guy on Toronto Golf Nuts. And I want to pick your brain as far as us, doing a little bit of, presence there, a little advertising on Toronto Golf Nuts. We can talk about
I'm sure
that.
you'd appreciate it.
And so I know many of you had a lot of questions on the single length iron. So during the series, we're going to do about 12 sessions together. And we're gonna dive into one of those series. We'll look at the advantages and for many of you, I know it would be a good fit. So we'll talk about that at the same time, okay? Because my irons typically from the wedges through the 9-iron are single length. I like to have my lob wedge, my sand wedge, my gap wedge, and my pitching wedge at the same length as my 9-iron. So I actually have 5 clubs that are at that length, and my length is a ½ inch above standard, so we're looking at basically an 8-iron length from the 9-iron down. So without further ado, we're going to start off with Greg. We haven't seen each other in a while because Greg's been playing some good golf, so I'm really stoked to see where he's at and how we can refine it. One of the comments that he made, he says, well, everything's pretty good, but nothing is outstanding, right? And that's where we come in. We're going to get him to that outstanding stage and raise his level and hopefully raise your level at the same time. So I'm going to let you start warming up. You've got, where the signs are. We use the hole here as the intermediate point. You've got an 8-iron right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to have you call a shot, and we'll start with what's going on, focus-wise.
Okay. I think fades are nice to start with.
Okay,
I
good.
think.
Awesome.
So left of wet paint,
All right.
which will be just slightly left of my intermediate.
Perfect. All right. Good start. The setup looked pretty good.
Yeah.
You've got the alignment that's pretty good. Now the question is, how do you know your setup matches the direction that you want it, the picture that you're swinging into?
Well, first of all, with the intermediate point, it's got to feel like I can send the club head through or just left of that spot.
Awesome.
So the path of my practice swing
Okay.
affirms my target.
Okay, cool. Now, once you're set up and you're over the ball and you're ready to pull the trigger, what's going through your mind? What are you getting ready to do?
I'm still out here.
Right.
I'm not down here. I'm getting my posture and my balance. Once that feels comfortable, then I'm out here
Okay, good.
throughout
Now,
the whole swing.
so what feel are you getting ready to deliver into that picture? What feel are you attaching to that picture? Do you have one?
Just a feel of letting the energy go in that direction.
Okay, good. So if we were to compare that to, let's say, the slash of the sword, you remember the slash of the sword? So you've got a very very particular, feel of the weight of that sword releasing you.
Yes.
So you feel the peak speed is out there in the direction that you want to start the ball. So when you're looking down at the ball, so for one of the things that we're going to be working on in this session for many of you, it's when somebody asks you, what do you think about to start the swing? And we did a session recently on that, and it begins much earlier than that. It's what's going through your mind at address when you're getting ready to deliver the shot. So if you're thinking about the target, well, you could shove the shot to the target. You can steer the shot to the target, or you can let the sword release you to the target, or you can let the weight of the hammer release you to the target. So there's got to be a very specific feel that you're attaching to that, because otherwise you'd be at the mercy of the architect. So if it's OB left and a big wind, big crosswind, and you're getting ready to steer the shot in there because you're trying to make sure. So how do you get that swing started? Well, it begins with, what feel am I going to deliver out there? And the most important feel that we talked about was, if I'm an architect, or this guy, by the way, is an amazing an artist
Graphic design.
Graphic design,
Yep.
Fantastic. So if I was getting ready to draw a very precise picture somewhere, the brain would freeze my body so I could manipulate myself into those fine, those fine drawings. Versus the lumberjack, who's getting ready to heave the axe into the backswing, and he's getting ready to use the weight of the axe to deliver the blow. Well, if he freezes the body, he's going to be in for some trouble.
Yeah.
So, and he's not going to freeze his body twice. At one point he's going to let that sucker go. So the thing about the golf club is it's light enough to manipulate to your target, but it's also heavy enough to feel the heft and to use that heft to deliver into that picture. So, when you're getting ready, so if we're going to do a practice swing, let's say you do a practice swing above the top of the ball there, so you can see the blur of the club as it passes. Let's see if you can feel the release that you want to feel in that direction. Right on. You could actually hear the whistle of the club in that direction. Awesome. How'd that feel?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So if you
That
feel
feels better.
that in the direction you want to start the ball, do you feel that you could pull off the shot? Awesome. Let's see one.